KX Sports with Luke Gamble.
Burgum hopes that message inspires the next generation. One kick at a time. Hey Phil, that's right. One of the most iconic trophies in all of sports sitting just a few feet right here behind me. And it's brought thousands of fans to Stadion Sports Complex today. But more importantly, it's made one man's dream come true. I'm Luke Gamble, live at Dakota Speedway. On the other side of the break, we're bringing a piece of Hazard County right here to North Dakota. It's 5 degrees, feels like negative 15 degrees, and there's some snow flurries in the air. So it's a perfect night to play hockey outdoors, am I right? So after an unfortunate series of events through my shots, we're finally to your second shot, which is actually on the green. So tell me what kind of putt you're looking at here.
So
the story in this one, Dickinson State, an NAIA program playing up a level against Division II foe Black Hills State. Okay, so full-time football player, part-time slow pitch softball player, part-time walleye fisherman.
Yes, sir.
And a sport that might be somewhat underrated continues to rise in popularity in North Dakota. Curlers I spoke to say there's more to the sport than meets the eye. Just 2 seconds left. The Blue Knights find their knight in shining armor, and Janier Harris, the game winner as time expires, sinks it. All these South Border guys have the mullets, and you know what they say, business in the front, party in the backfield. Sac City for South Border's Colin Godel. Hey Alicia, that's right. The Saints coaching staff has over 75 years of experience just between head coach Dan Smeeker and defensive coordinator Toby Schweitzer. But today when the Saints line it up and hit the field, they'll be relying on another member of their team, one that won't be wearing a headset and he won't be wearing one of these. But he may be the biggest part of their team. When St. Mary's football team punched its ticket to the Dakota Bowl for the 7th time in the last 9 years, there was one guy who may have been happier than anyone else.
People say he has a disability, and I sometimes think that we're the ones with the disability, and I'd rather have his passion and his attitude and his way of life, because he's always a pretty happy guy.
Andy Richter has Down syndrome, but that hasn't stopped his passion for sports.
Sack him!
You won't find his name listed in a media guide, but he's been an honorary coach for the Saints for nearly 25 years.
I can have coach down focus on sports and win.
If there's one thing Coach Andy is serious about, it's winning.
Touchdown, baby!
I would say the most important thing is he is adamant about winning. Anytime you talk to him about any sport with St. Mary's, we're going to win. We're going to win.
Coach them up now. How we can win fucking home?
Keep them guys fired up now.
Yeah.
Coach Andy's been a part of the St. Mary's winning tradition for decades. He's one of 10 Richter boys, and he has nephews on this year's football team. He's pretty much anywhere that there's a Saints game.
He's so ingrained in the success and the athletics here at St. Mary's that it's like he sees himself as a coach, as a player, and just an integral part of the organization that he's hanging out with.
And when there's no Coach Andy on the sidelines, there's a missing piece to the Saints puzzle.
Well, coming from a school like ours, you shouldn't be superstitious, but people are, and when Andy's not here, everybody gets a little bit worried, I think. So what does he do for us? He gives guys incentive to do their best for him.
Win or lose in Fargo, Coach Andy will be there for the Saints when the final horn sounds.
Good game.
Yeah, Andy's nephew Jaden told me last year he couldn't come to the Dakota Bowl to see their state championship due to the coronavirus, so Andy is absolutely pumped up to be here and be on the sidelines today. When you go to dirt tracks in North Dakota, you hear people talking about their racing family. And it's true, the sport is built around families that pass it down over generations. That's especially true for the Davenports, who share a unique bond on the track that you won't find anywhere else. When you see legend cars racing in North Dakota, you might catch yourself seeing double. Double the Davenports.
I tell you what, every time she gets up beside me or she comes around me or we're battling back and forth, it's the coolest feeling in the world.
AJ and Sierra Davenport are a father-daughter duo that are racing side by side on the dirt of the Dakotas. A family that has racing running through their blood.
I remember her first thing I heard her say was race car.
At just 13 years old, Sierra can't legally drive a car on the streets, but being in a shop or at the track with her dad is all she's known since birth.
As soon as she could pick up tools, she wanted to be helping work on stuff.
Racing together is a tradition that started when AJ's dad put him in a car at 15 years old, a pastime that AJ took a break from after his father died in 2007. But his little girl brought him back behind the wheel.
She looked up at me and, Dad, we need to do that. I was in 2017, and ever since then we've been every freaking weekend all summer long.
It's a time they won't trade for anything.
It's awesome. It feels good.
Whether at the shop, at the track, or in the car.
It always felt good to me as a young kid, but now getting to be the parent in the situation, it shows me how much it meant to him.
And while Sierra mostly lets her racing do the talking, she's not shy about her goals when Dad is lining up next to her.
Just thinking that I need to just stay fast and beat him.
Well, these two say they always share a high five after a big race, but then it's on to figuring out what's next to fix and where to get better.